What's up everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami, and today I'm going to take a look at my top 10 favorite classic Doctor Who stories that do not feature Tom Baker. Why is Tom Baker excluded, you ask? Check out my top 10 Tom Baker video for more information, along with if you do not know what Doctor Who is, as I did a small synopsis on the franchise in that video. This video is strictly going to be covering stories that feature William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, Jon Pertwee, Peter Davison, Colin Baker. Well, spoiler alert, Colin Baker is not on this list at all because I do not care for his seasons, but Terror of the Voids would be my favorite Colin Baker story, and then Sylvester McCoy. So that's who's going to be included on this list, so let's kick this list off with number 10. Kicking off this top 10 list is the first Patrick Troughton story I'd ever seen, which features my favorite villains, the Cybermen, and that is The Invasion. While it may be 2 episodes too long, The Invasion is nothing short of being an absolutely fantastic piece about a crazed owner of an electronics company trying to take over the world with the assistance of the half-man, half-machine Cybermen.
Has the information been considered?
The images of the 2 humans have been analyzed and registered.
All of the characters are at their best, especially the Doctor's companions Jamie and Zoe, the latter of whom makes an AI secretary go haywire out of frustration.
Continue. Print out continuous integration.
This story also introduces UNIT, a special military organization that would become prominent for the next several seasons of the show, led by the remarkable Lethbridge Stewart.
How nice to see you again, Doctor.
It's Colonel Lethbridge Stewart.
Brigadier now. I've gone up in the world.
Finally, we have the Cybermen, who are not only my favorite villains of Doctor Who of all time, but this story features my favorite designs of theirs. Number 9. Another wonderful Patrick Troughton Cybermen story, The Tomb of the Cybermen. Similarly to Pyramids of Mars from Tom Baker's run, The Tomb of the Cybermen is like a classic mummy film set in the Doctor Who universe with the mummies being the Cybermen. It kicks off with the Doctor, Jamie, and their latest partner, Victoria, landing on a desert-like planet only to find a group of archaeologists have uncovered a tomb that is supposed to hold an army of Cybermen. The mystery unravels as death comes to half of the party, while others betray each other for selfish gain.
For the last time, I'm asking you to keep away from those controls.
No!
It's as much exciting as it is suspenseful, though it does have some hammy acting every now and then.
I'm coming too.
Later, maybe. Not this trip.
Could be a woman.
How would you know, honey? You better stay up here. We don't know what's going on down there.
Along with some weird editing that makes the narrative confusing for a moment. Nevertheless, it's a grandiose tale that is finely paced and features one really kick-ass scene when the Cybermen have been unfrozen from their tombs. Number 8. The only story on this list to feature William Hartnell, the first Doctor, the Dalek invasion of Earth. The Doctor, his granddaughter Susan, and companions Ian and Barbara arrive in London in the 21st century, only to find it in ruins thanks to a successful Dalek invasion.
We have already conquered Earth.
Conquer the Earth! Before you attempt to conquer the Earth, you will have to destroy all living matter.
This grimdark story is truly phenomenal, as it shows that the future of Earth will not always be a happy one, while also separating the characters in order to keep the story fresh for its 6 parts. Enhancing the action is an incredible score, especially a track full of drum beats that is often played during chase sequences that is boosted by some wicked camera work. All in all, this is not only one of the best Dalek stories of the franchise, but it is also the best story to be found in William Hartnell's run as the Doctor. At least for stories that are currently available. Who knows, maybe if the Daleks' master plan ever gets uncovered or gets animated, I will feel differently about it. Finally, how can you not love watching a group of Daleks get hit by a truck GTA style?
I'm going through.
Number 7. The first Sylvester McCoy story to make the list, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. What do you get when you cross Doctor Who with a circus? The greatest show in the galaxy, that's what.
Oh, thank you very much.
The Doctor and Ace receive an invitation to a mysterious circus. Upon arriving, they come to find out the circus is not all it's cracked up to be. This story is full of maniacal clowns, I guess you could say they are killer clowns from outer space. A very captivating audience.
But Daddy...
I've told you once and I'm not going to tell you again. Now shut up and eat your popcorn.
Evil gods, a jerk-ass explorer with a werewolf-like companion, a fortune teller, a ringmaster who sounds like he is about ready to sing the opening theme to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Now welcome folks, I mean it from the heart, because the greatest show is about to start. It's happening right here before your very eyes, and one thing's for sure, you're in for quite a surprise.
And finally, the Doctor pretending he is in a Robert Rodriguez movie. Most badass Doctor scene ever. Number 6. Jon Pertwee's first Dalek story, Day of the Daleks. Day of the Daleks was the first Dalek story in nearly 5 years, and it really shows that when the Daleks are written well, they can be damn awesome. Not to mention the break between Dalek stories allowed new ideas to flow, such as this interestingly unique story where a group of resistance fighters travel back to the past in order to stop the Daleks from conquering the world in the future.
You went back into our time to kill Styles before he could carry out his plan.
Right. The Daleks had succeeded in creating a time machine. We could go back into history to the exact point where things started to go wrong.
With one action, we could stop them. Mankind could have a chance to take a new direction.
Those of you who are familiar with X-Men comics may recognize this plot as Day of the Daleks is the story that inspired Chris Claremont to write Days of Future Past. Add on top whimsical performances by both Jon Pertwee and Katie Manning, and you have yourself the second greatest Dalek story of the entire franchise.
No, I've got a good mind to let you stay like that. So much more peaceful.
Number 5. Peter Davison's swan song, The Case of Andrazani. The Caves of Andrazani is like Doctor Who meets the Phantom of the Opera as the Doctor and Perry enter a world of caves and are naturally believed to be spies for the opposing side during a war. In the meantime, the masked villain becomes infatuated with Perry and kidnaps her, leaving the Doctor to fend for himself.
Now I can feast my eyes on your delicacy and forget the pain and blackness in my mind.
Could think of the future.
As with many of my favorite stories of the franchise, this one continues to show how the elements of horror are easily mixed together with the science fiction of Doctor Who to provide one of the most enjoyable tales of the series. Furthermore, it allows actor Peter Davison to go out on a high note despite his run as a whole being about average.
Goodbye,
No, Perry, don't give up. You mustn't give up! What was that? Celery. It's a powerful restorative where I come from. Unfortunately, the human olfactory system is comparatively feeble.
It's just a shame that after this story came a landslide of garbage. Number 4. I'm happy! The Happiness Patrol. The Happiness Patrol is a strange story as it has the atmosphere and feel of a film noir, yet it's a very colorful tale of intrigue as the Doctor and Ace arrive on a wayward planet that is ruled by a Margaret Thatcher-like bitch who has anyone that isn't happy executed.
But it says...
Happiness Patrol undercover. Time to get really depressed.
Have a nice day.
It makes me think of what the recent video game We Happy Few could have been. It does have a few campy moments thanks to the slowest go-kart imaginable. Luigi would have no need to stare them down. And the story could have easily used a 4th episode to pace itself better, but it has the freaking Candyman, who provides his victims with the sweetest death imaginable.
The Candyman can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
Fatality. Oh, and let's not forget the Doctor's incredible speech against a gunman.
Why don't you do it then? Look me in the eye. Pull the trigger. End my life. No.
Number 3. Doctor Who tackles an environmental message and does it right. The Green Death. The Green Death is the best environmental social commentary Doctor Who will ever provide.
Look, it's time to call a halt. It's time that the world awoke to the alarm bell of pollution instead of sliding down the slippery slopes of... whatever it is.
What helps is that its narrative comes first, as opposed to what the most recent episodes of the series has been doing as of late. Even the Green Death script editor Terrence Dicks stated this aspect.
I didn't mind a message if it didn't get in the way, you know, as long as it was absorbed in the story.
Chris Chibnall, take his advice. Anyway, the Doctor and Jo are caught between a group of environmental protesters and a conglomerate whose uncaring naivete has led to the creation of giant maggots that become a threat to the entire world.
Good grief. Come on.
Thus, it is up to the Doctor and unit to stop these vile abominations before the situation gets out of hand. There's so much more I could say about this one, but it's a story that is best to experience for yourself.
Coal is a dying industry. Oil is our future now, and the government agrees with me.
Number 2. Another solid McCoy story, The Curse of Fenrik. Specifically the special edition that has all the additional footage inserted into it. The Doctor and Ace arrive near a naval station in a small town during World War II. There, they get wrapped up in a battle between some British soldiers and some Soviet commandos pretending to be Germans, only to learn about an evil demonic presence that is taking over the town.
The dark evil lies waiting in the sea. It has followed the treasure we stole. We cannot see it, but we know that it is there. Beneath the surface. The Curse of Fenrik is full of suspense, atmosphere, and tension as the story continues to dive deeper and deeper into horror as it progresses. We've got vampire-like creatures, a bit of character development for Ace, even if there is one scene that comes out kind of randomly.
You looking for someone?
No. You. There's a wind whipping up. I can feel it through my clothes. Is there a storm coming?
And an excellent conflict with the demon known as Fenrik. If you are into gothic horror, here's another incredible tale for you. As always, here are some honorable mentions.
The other 4 were taken and put in places of safety all over Marinus. Only I know where they are. And now, the time has come when they must be recovered.
Pick up your club.
He is a meddler and a fool. He is not a fool. Yet he has done a foolish thing coming here.
Don't think it!
Too late, I'm afraid. You already have.
Number 1. And finally, the greatest Doctor Who classic story that doesn't have Tom Baker in it is Patrick Troughton's swan song, The War Games. The Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe find themselves under assault from a barrage of gunfire and bombs during what they perceive to be World War I. It turns out what they think and what they know are two different things, as Jamie ends up meeting up with a redcoat and the group ends up facing off against a Roman army. This 10-part adventure is nothing but an incredible roller coaster ride from start to finish that always keeps you on the edge of your seat in anticipation for what is going to happen next. Add on top some interesting villains, one of which may actually be the Master under the guise of the War Chief, top-notch performances from our lead trio, especially Zoe once again.
Hello, is that...
I'm sorry, sorry, Doctor, but it seemed the only way.
And that the 10th episode is the first time audiences ever got a glimpse of the Time Lords along with the Doctor's home planet, and you have one of the most exciting, quintessential stories of the entire franchise.
You have repeatedly broken our most important law of non-interference in the affairs of other planets. Do you admit these actions?
I not only admit them, I am proud of them.
And that brings an end to my top 10 favorite stories from the classic years of Doctor Who. What are your favorites? Do you like the ones on my list? Do you hate the ones on my list? Let me know in the comments. Click like, click subscribe, click the bell notification, click whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support me. You can support me on Patreon at Kaiju no Kami, Facebook at Kaiju no Kami, Twitter at Kaiju no Kami, Instagram Kaiju no Kami, and my website creativitybydesignllc.com. Until next time, bye.